Hello world, this is Zan playing Late Age Calum, and this is 2022 Dominions 5 tournament. This is turn 69. Nice. And we're going to dive in as this is kind of the start of an important turn diplomatically because this is the turn that the coalition against Pan begins. I finally, after my defeat and I got spanked at Zox, Atlantis and Midgard, I finally decided that, okay, it is time for us to all work together against Pangaea. We do still have a few battles this turn that are worth visiting. I think Halbrithia is a cool one because, once more, this is just me spamming Winds of Death. I just have this Ring of Returning and this Ghost Orb, which is an item created from Lucid's gem generating mod. And I just really needed to provide those two temporary death gems because that's going to make these Magic Phase Winds of Death traps a lot more efficient. Obviously, if you count like the mage turns, whatever, some people might disagree, and I know that the Midgard player thought that I was wasting my time with these. But I was constantly getting good amount of kills essentially for free. Like I'm paying 3 air gems to do this. And again, most of this ends up being PD. But so I paid, what was it, the air gems? To cloud trapeze this white mage over. I killed a mage, some commander, a bunch of units, these Satoride or Centauride crossbows. That's 30 gold each. So, I mean, 45 kills for 3 air gems, I think that's pretty good. I'll take it. The PD kills, obviously, they don't really matter. And this is a very light mage, and I'm not really spending death gems in the combat since I made that ghost orb. I probably made it with a hammer, too. So that's pretty cool. We're attacked here in the Forest of Gila by the stupid teleporting golem. Can't really do anything about it because it has... Here, let me actually pull up the battle so you can see what I'm talking about. It has these little boots of the plains, which allow it to teleport without a lab. So anywhere it goes, I have to deal with it having all this protection. Look at all these hit points. That's from Gifted Health. And if I do actually attack it, I would need to kill it in one hit, which at 170 hit points, this much protection, is extremely unlikely. It would have to be some sort of like disintegrate check. And if I don't do that, well, it's going to just teleport again, which means I can't catch it. I have to predict where it's going, and the fact that it can teleport in a range of 6 provinces literally means it can be anywhere. Look at that, and it even gets this third eye thing, giving it more magic resistance. So yeah, I literally can do nothing about this golem. We'll move on to our regular battles here. We have just Range of Light beating up... This is just the normal PD dump that you're going to have to deal with when fighting a Gift of Nature's Bounty player. 40 PD is kind of a minimum. This here at Belagor, though, this is the start of something not pretty. We have a Galderman, an Earth 1 Galderman with an Earth Gem, and 2 Vampire Lords with Kithrionic Pelts. So Belagor, just for a quick review, is the province of Abyssia's last castle. It is the province with the steel ovens. It is the province where I just had that major defeat last turn. Why is Midgard here? And not only why is Midgard here, but why is he here with a force that is not fire resistant, nor will it be, but is designed to kill. This is the perfect tool to start killing this unit, who has a very low damaging magic attack. This is very much a squad that is meant to kill regular province defense, regular units. Why is this here on the same turn that we have finally joined a coalition against Pangaea? This province has nothing to do with Pangaea. And giving these guys this equipment, giving that gem to that Galderman, this was a very purposeful undermining of my own play. This is very important. We will come back to this Midgard discussion throughout the next few turns. There aren't many left. We have some more battles that are just, casual 60 Satyr raiding squads. I mean, it is what it is. There's no point in me bumping up my PD because then he just sends that stupid golem. Okay, we have a major battle here against Thafalia. This is a small army that's been roving through my territory. I haven't been able to catch it until now. And the only way I was able to do it is by making multiple small squads of units to literally be everywhere at once, somehow. So fortunately, we sleep cloud some of the Minotaurs. We have our Scully spam. We have the Gift of Health. I think the Gift of... not the Gift of Health. The Gift of Heavens, I think is from his end. But mostly we just kind of hope that the Scully spam works. And that their friendly fire back here is enough. We have this Troll Mage casting Disintegrate. This is one of my favorite mercenaries to pick up. I really like, he's casting Drain Life with some of his Death Gems. I really like this guy, Urvikel, specifically, that mercenary, because he comes usually with that Skull Staff. He might not always be able to hit Death 3, but regardless, because he is a Death Mage, or he will be guaranteed a Death Mage, and he has a Skull Staff, he can Whiteborn himself and give you access to a reliable Death Mage that comes with his Skull Staff. So through some advance in cast magic, we are able to finally rout these sages and get rid of this army once and for all. Was it expensive? Yeah, I guess. I mean, these Vetis are just the mercenaries that come with the Troll Shaman, but we did lose a mage in 26 Spirehorn. I guess we lost a Stormguard too. So that's Typhalia. We finally have taken that stupid force out. We have some other poor events because, of course, they're poor events. I have misfortune, and we kill a bunch of scouts. Looking now at the map, Typhalia is located here in Province 174. If you notice, that enemy force was here in the World's Teeth Mountain before, and I kind of sent a force big enough to defeat that army regardless of where it moved. This World Teeth Mountain move that it made was pretty bad for it because it funneled it so that it can only move into range of light or Typhalia or stay in place. And I think here in World's Teeth Mountain they had... oh no, they didn't do a big PD dump. They did it here in range of light. Yeah. So I'm finally glad that thing is gone. It was difficult to try to do like a Magic Phase Thug because it did have so many Centaur Sages that I might risk the Thug getting Soul Slayed or Enslaved Mind or something. Belagor, where the vampires showed up, was over here in Province 28. Thankfully, it is still breached. I'm sending in some reinforcements now and sending some choice words to Midgard. I'm not a very happy camper about that. At this point, though, turn 69, I do change, since my defeat at Zox, since the coalition is moving in, as you see here, Atlantis is already on Murius, I change to a more fleet in being strategy, because these wins against Pangaea honestly don't mean much. He can afford to just throw troops at me, and even if he loses he's doing what I've been doing all game. If he loses every battle, but make sure that he takes his pound of flesh from me every time, he will win the war because his resources are infinite in comparison to my own. Especially if I have things like what's going on in Belagor happening. So I decide to adopt a fleet in being strategy where I'm going to keep large contingents of forces in my forts in such a way that anywhere he goes, I can immediately react with enough of a force that covers all the bases that it needs to, Army of Gold, Gaia's Blessing, whatever it is, to defeat his army. I think that kind of strategy is a losing one. Don't get me wrong. If I did that for perpetuity, I will lose the war. But my hope and my faith is that I can trust Atlantis and Midgard, who I've been talking to for some time now, and have now finally agreed to Coalition Pangaea with me. I can trust that as they start attacking Pangaea, I am no longer as under threat from these Pangaean armies, and I can let go of most of this, or I can release most of my quote-unquote fleets and start performing offensive actions against Pangaea. I can retake Halbrithia, who he's now building a fort in. I can retake Neothia, who he cast a wizard tower in. And I can slowly start making gains against Pangaea. That is the hope of my strategy here, of this fleet in being strategy. Where, I keep my forces in positions where they can move out to intercept the enemy, rather than making any sort of offensive movements. So let's move on to the next turn and see kind of how that starts moving. We have turn 70. I think this is a quick one too. Yeah, we have that stupid golem moving around. This is going to be a constant every turn. We're summoning more vampires. Every turn, I think I'm getting a vampire, give or take. So at the Verdant step, I do end up losing a battle because he brings just a mass of units. He brings his mages, and I think I only have, like, units. I don't think I even have mages. Is that why? Oh, that's why, because I cast Winds of Death. And I think I was here to cast it a few times. That's why I had some troops. Unfortunately, this guy took a crossbow, and he's going to retreat. So that's pretty unfortunate. So it's just a gem bait and a Winds of Death trap, but I guess I killed 2 sages. It's not worth 80's Firehorn, especially when 80's Firehorn is 800 gold for me. 2 sages might be 180 gold, but really, he's making so much gold, doesn't really matter. He's making 30 sages a turn, give or take, because I think he has about 30 forts. So when you're making 30 sages a turn, does it really matter that you lost 2? No. No, it doesn't. But this actually cost me. This, compared to last turn's Winds of Death trap, this cost me. Normally that Winds of Death is just costing me a handful of gems, but here I think I got greedy and I wanted to cast it multiple times. And so I sent this Distractive Force here that just got wrecked because eventually this Harab Seraph ended up getting shot in the face and retreating. So I think I got greedy there, and I should just stick to what I've been doing, which is just send a lone commander with a Ring of Returning. And the Ring of Returning is so that when he gets hit by Harpies in Pan's army, I don't know if Pan has realized this, but I'm counting on these Harpies to land and hit my mage after it has cast Winds of Death. The end result being now my mage casts Winds of Death, and then these Harpies immediately hit it and send it home. So that's like a benefit that I'm hoping Pan hasn't caught yet. Okay, we do some more raiding. We lose another battle here against another Pan attack of 28 sages and a bunch of crap. We send a Lich, which is going to clear out another PD dump. And this is why, like, if you make PD dumps, normally you want to support them because this could be scary, but then someone like me could just send something like this and just clear it out practically for free. There. He was vulnerable for a little bit, but now that he casts invulnerability, I think he's going to be fine. Yeah, you see, like, he's taking the damage. Because he's only pierce resistant. But he's going to get hit. I think these are Morning Stars. Not this guy. These guys. These are Morning Stars. So even then, they're pierce half the time. So he's going to take some damage, but because of the Soul Vortex and having 33 protection against mundane attacks, he's going to be okay. So this PD dump is completely gone. Normally, that would be a huge loss for a player. 40 PD is expensive. I'm sure there's someone with the math for it. For Gift of Nature's Bounty, again, it doesn't matter. This is nothing to him. So last turn I was told about this Warlock. And I think I wanted to send a force, but I ended up sending that force to go fight Pan or something. So in one turn, I already got this Warlock event, which is kind of sad. Like, I really wanted to send one of my vampires here. I don't think I could make it in time for something. Maybe I forgot. Maybe I don't know. But it's kind of sad because no, wait, look, I did send Toldi. I did send somebody. He's in the province. I just snuck him in there. Because this Warlock event, if you send a Blood Mage to it, it can potentially give you an Archdevil. And an Archdevil won't be war changing. Like, it won't change how things are going against Pangea. But an Archdevil will help. And now instead, I lose a province and I have to dedicate forces to go take it. I lost the 20k income province. That's significant. So that's really unfortunate that that happened over there. Let's see, other than that, I think the only thing I had left for this turn 70, is the Atlantean Force in Murius is gone. I don't know if it's moved to Sulfuria, or I don't know if it just died. I'm talking to the Atlantis player, but I don't remember if I asked them or not. The other significant thing about this turn is Midgard now goes into Trollland and clears this out. And that's not good. This is part 2 of me having some issues with Midgard. Because he comes in triumphantly saying, look, I am fighting Pangea, don't you see? I'm fighting their stuff. I've attacked them in Trollland. See, I'm helping. That's weird because Trollland is my province that Pangaea raided from me. And now you've taken that from Pangaea, who took it from me. You're not technically wrong in that you're fighting Pangaea for it. But you know damn well, especially after what happened in Belagor, like just because my flag isn't on it doesn't mean it didn't belong to me. So I tell him straight up at this point, listen, if you keep doing this shit, I'm going to leave the coalition. Pangaea is going to take me over. And you're going to lose the game because you insist on trying to undermine me when we're supposed to be working together. Because otherwise, other than this little conflict and the conversations revolving it, the Midgard player's conversation with me is very much, yeah, we're going to work together. We're going to be a team. We're going to take down Pangaea. I see the necessity in taking down Gift of Nature's Bounty, Pangaea. So he's telling me all these nice things, like he's going to work with me. But then he attacks me at Belagor. Well, air quotes, he attacks Abyssia at Belagor. And now, air quotes, he attacks Pangaea at Trolllands, provinces he knows that either I'm moving into, which is exactly what the thing at Belagor last turn was. He knew that I was going to send Siege Chaff in there and he wanted to clear them out. Or a province that is rightfully mine. And again, this turn I ended up sneaking Glimber, the Vampire Lord, there instead of moving him because I don't want Pangaea to magic phase on top of my vampires and kill them. So it's just an extra precaution. But that one turn delay was enough for Midgard to come in and take out the force. Again, his little lion pelt vampire was meant to kill regular units. Not do well against mages, but you usually just counter raids with regular units. You don't tend to send large mage corps to do it. So yeah, this is starting to get suspiciously ugly in terms of what's going on with Midgard. Atlantis seems to be doing exactly what they said they would, which I appreciate. But Midgard is just being a complete asshole right now, and I'm not sure where it's coming from. So we'll try to find out in the next few turns. See you then.